now tuned into the greatest.
So how did ramen go yesterday?
Ramen was okay, man. Just kind of like a slow, just chill kind of day. I think it's just because it's hard to kind of get, because it's hot, right? Plus it's hot outside. It's a hot soup kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is like your slow season, or if this is just kind of, it will just kind of average out. If I need to introduce some other items that it's not, full on hot, I should say.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, it's I still did like 20 bowls. That's not bad, not crazy.
Yeah.
Just
I think maybe if you like did ramen without the broth, and did like a rice bowl or did like a noodle bowl. I forgot what it's called, but there's
Maziman. I have both.
there's definitely ways you can get around that. But I think right now it's just your practice run. So
Yeah.
even if you just sell 5 bowls, it's still fine. Like it's not even a big deal.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
It's totally
not a big deal. Not even worried. I'm just like, yeah, sure. No, I'm here. However, most of these people are all regulars, I should say. So these are people literally I see every week.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Literally have regulars now. It's crazy. They're like, yeah, I'll see you next week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm here for it. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Obviously, you haven't been in our, I should say, like live, because I go live quite a bit, right, in the morning. And Jem and everybody else kind of hops onto it. I know you're just busy. Trust me.
I need to start going live, man. Because I don't know if I told you, but I'm with the TikTok partners. They're live. I'm with their live creator thing or whatever. And dude, I've been slacking, man. But like, I need to get back on it. But I really should, because what they do is when you're part of that community, they push your TikTok out. You know what I mean? So yeah,
no, I know.
And they put you on like the live spotlight. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just like, the thing is like just hop on.
Yeah. So we were talking about there's a couple issues right now. So one of our other buddies, today he has an interview for CDC, but he had reservances on just kind of like the price, the menu, how big it is it worth it? Would it be, would the management like kind of coincide with what he's gonna do, etc. And we were kind of like, I wasn't giving advice. I was just like, well, how does your wife feel about it? How do you feel about it? Do you think your style of cuisine?
Give a little more detail. So how big's the operation? What is he getting offered? And what's
what
kind of operation is it?
Gotcha. So he's in he's in California, but he's a little north from Kyle. I don't know where Temecula, so a little north from him. He said it's farmland, and it's 120 seats, but the menu is sporadic. It's not farm to table, which is very weird, being in farmland and not using your farmers to have your product in. And I think he wanted 80, but they're going to offer him 50. So it's a very, for CDC, I know it's weird, right? I'm just like, what? Doesn't make sense. So
what? All right,
I don't know.
A couple more questions. What kind of operation is it? Is it a freestanding restaurant? Is it an estate? What type of
freestanding?
It's a freestanding.
Freestanding.
Restaurant. And there's 120 seats. Do you know how big this? Do you know how big the staff is?
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He said the only details I managed to get is like it's a 60 item menu. Average price point is like, I want to say like $30-$40 per entree or whatever. 120 seats ish. Yeah. I don't know.
So, I mean, my only follow-up question is like, how bad does he need a job? And
that's what I said too.
I don't know his financial situation, but in all honesty, I think there's only, and this goes for everybody. This goes for absolutely every chef out there. If you are at a CDC level, I'm going to say executive sous chef level and above, CDC, especially for executive chef, you need to know how much revenue that restaurant does. There's nothing else more important in your life, okay? You need to say, what is your gross sales, okay? What are your gross sales? From there, you can decide on what your salary should be. A good example, if the restaurant makes $1 million, right? Then technically, let's say let's just say $1 million a year, right? That's really low, but
Mm-hmm. That's pretty
you
low.
can you can expect your salary to be 50 to 60K, right? That depends on how
Yeah.
much work how much staff you have too, right? Because all of this takes in consideration. So that's why I try to tell everybody, if you want a bigger salary, you need to go to a place that does bigger operations. A good example would be like hotel food and beverage. Another example would be
Yeah.
like big chain restaurants, right? They do a lot of revenue. You want to be in the 12 to 14 million dollar revenue each year to get
Mm-hmm.
$120,000 salary. That's going to be what
Yeah.
their budgeted
Easy.
amount is. And I think what's really important is, unfortunately, when you are new in management, you have to take the hit. Okay. So this goes for all my chefs out there. When you are, that's why I try to tell people, get out of that hourly position as soon as possible, right? A lot of people don't look at the
Mm-hmm.
bigger picture, the 3 to 5 year. And like, I'll be honest, like, and everybody knows it. When you're a junior sous chef making X amount of dollars an hour and you get paid for 40 hours a week and you get overtime, this is better than just taking a sous chef position where you're going to be
Yeah.
working twice as much for a lower wage. But ultimately, when you get past that stage of being a sous chef, then that's where you start to get into bigger numbers. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, with how many jobs are available right now, I would not even blink at 50K a year. You wouldn't even
Yeah.
give
That's
me,
what I meant.
you wouldn't even get me to, that's a fucking sous chef position. Okay. So
Yeah. I'm like CDC for 50. Like for real? Nah,
no,
man.
it, but, but,
80.
but,
Okay, we can talk.
but
You know what I'm saying?
here's the thing. You don't know their financial situation either. So the restaurant might be on the verge of closing, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. There's so many different variables, and the restaurant business is very cutthroat, right? They'd rather, like,
Mm.
it is what it is. And unfortunately, usually the hiring manager, and this is important for all my chefs out there, usually the hiring manager does not have that authority to change the salary
Mm.
or the salary range. So
Yeah.
what I find in my benefit is I go straight for ownership. Don't even waste time. You know what I'm
Got it. Got it.
saying?
Got it.
If you're at a CDC level or executive chef level, do not waste time talking to the hiring manager if you know your salary is bigger, right? Because here's the
Mm.
thing, man, you're going to put your blood, sweat, and tears into that place, and you want to be compensated properly, or else you're just going to be
Yeah.
resenting it. So I would need more details on Homeboy's situation, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with the amount of executive chef positions and CDC positions. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even get a phone call back from me. I'd be like, thank you,
Yeah.
pass. And that's the thing. And that's the other thing. You have to be not emotionally attached to these offerings, right? Like,
Mm.
and also, I don't know his resume, right? He might have a trash resume, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what his resume is. It could say,
Correct.
and I'm gonna be honest. Everybody that's out there, I know that, like, Chipotle and freaking Applebee's and Chili's, they have competitive wages, man. They do. They pay
Yeah.
great. But let me tell you something. It does not do that well for your resume. So my only suggestion is like, if you want to be in a chef driven operation, it's very important that you have chef driven on your resume.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with being corporate, because honestly, it's just like being in a hotel. Once you're in that world, it's easier for you to move around and get paid more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like, if you slang out 10 years at Cheesecake Factory and then you want to go into another corporate operation, dude, they're going to hire you with a sight on scene,
Yeah.
right?
Right on
Like,
the side. Yep. Because they
they're not even
know.
gonna waste time. Same thing with a hotel, like a hotel background. Like, because of my hotel background, I was able to get positions in another hotel, no problem.
Yeah.
But I think that's all. It's all a piece of the puzzle. So, if anybody's out there that's listening to this podcast, and if you want some advice on which way to go in your career, if you DM me on Instagram, I'll be more than happy to. If I see it, I'll be more than happy to elaborate and try to help you, give you some advice, because that's the thing. Like, a lot of people just don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to go
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
negotiate their
Yeah.
salary. They don't know exactly what they're looking for. They don't know what
Mm.
they're signing up for. Like, no lie, KC, man, I know exactly. I can pinpoint with a fine tooth comb now that I'm 36 years old. I know exactly what direction I want to go. And
Yeah.
it's crazy
Took a while to
because,
get
like,
there, but you know it.
yeah. But you know what? Like, there's one missing link to my career, right? There's one missing link. And for me, it's not really about like Michelin stars anymore. It's really not. And I
Yeah.
hate to say that, because, like, obviously I'd be honored if I ever got one. But the thing is for me, it's totally not what's on my radar anymore. You know what I mean? You know what's on my radar is entrepreneurship. Like
Yeah, your own.
building something from the ground up, bro. Like ground up.
Yep.
And here's the thing. I think a lot of chefs need to take that in consideration when they're out there looking for a job. Like it depends on what your situation is, but like ultimately, right now there's so much opportunity out there. There's so much money out there on the sidelines. You have the opportunity to pick and choose. Whereas when I was growing up, man, it was slim pickings, man, to get into good restaurants. It was slim pickings.
Yeah.
But hopefully it works out for him. But I would not even blink for 50K. You wouldn't even give me a move. And it's happened, dude. It's happened, man.
No. It's quite a common thing. Like though, even though it was like the first thing I asked him, I was like, do we have access to P&L? Like right away. I didn't. Yeah. Before anything else. Do we have gross? Do we have P&L? How many stuff? Nothing. Not given to him just yet. And I'm just like.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I'll be honest. This is what he should do. He should say if his resume is top notch. If his resume is top notch, great. If it's McDonald's, nothing wrong with McDonald's. But if it's McDonald's level, then he needs to shut the fuck up and take the job, right? And that's just my personal opinion. But if it were me and I was going for a CDC position, I would ask the general manager, "Hey, can I look at the P&L real quick? Do you have just year to date? And let me check it out, right? Because he also might be getting handed a Titanic, right? Like a sinking ship, right?
Yep, and you don't know.
Unmotivated employees, morale is low at an all-time low. Numbers are horrible because that's the thing. When you first start somewhere, you have to show what you're worth. You have like your first 90 days is crucial to your success.
Yeah.
So I would definitely listen. Any executive Sous out there, chef de cuisine or executive chef, you want to see the profit and loss statement. I don't care what anybody says. You want to see the profit and loss statement, and then you want to cross-reference it with the general ledger. And the thing is it's very important. You need to see what money's coming in, what money's going out, who takes care of the finances, and then you can go from there. You can negotiate from there. Now, I will be honest, 95% of restaurants will not share this information, but it's worth it to ask. It is worth it to ask and say, hey, can you give me a general idea? Can you tell me what the gross sales were, what the food cost percentage is supposed to be, what the labor cost is? Like ask these specific questions. If not, then like one, they know that you mean business. And two, it's like, I don't care what anybody says. Being a chef is not cooking.
Yeah. It's a lot because you have to manage such a big, like you have to manage the fucking entire building and everything that's in it. Like it's crazy. It's a nutty thing, man.
Yeah, man. I remember. It's so funny because I remember Wolfgang Puck coming in, and he like literally he's like, why? He's like, I forgot what he was saying. Like, totally forgot. Like, I was always getting pulled in different directions, right? So Wolfgang Puck's pulling me this way. He wanted me to cook this elaborate tasting, and like, I remember telling, I was like, chef, listen, I do not have 4 hours out of my day to cook a vegan tasting
to do this.
I'm like, you have to understand that. Like, I have to run this operation. Do you want your money at the end of the day, or do you want this? I'm like, I can't have both, right? I'm running the restaurant, but I can't like when I'm running the restaurant, it's very difficult for me to break off and just create I'm like it's like the air traffic controller. It's like the pilot, taking a lunch break middle flight. It's just not it's just not smart. You know what I mean? But what's up with
So the little issue, I mean, I know you've spoken to him, but now I have a big thing when all of a sudden, oh, by the way, you're doing a double today and you're on your way out. You're doing a double today. I'm going to send this cook home. This is like verbatim from the GM to him. It's like, you're doing a double. You can't say no to it. You're staying here today. I got so mad at that text. I'm just like, yo, Jim, I'm telling you right now, I would have left. I'm like, nope, sorry. I have a family. I have stuff to do. I did not know you need a double, but why did you send the cook home? And he didn't tell us why the cook got sent home or whatever, etc.
I think I saw some of that. I saw some of that text.
Yeah. But I was just like they can manage without you. Like they really can, man. You don't need to do a double, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's actually a really easy situation, Casey. And here's the thing: me and you both don't work there. We just get gems. We just get gem side.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So make sure you take that into consideration. There's always two sides to a story. And in all honesty, I treat it this way, right? So if it were me in that situation, this has happened. I mean, this happens to all of us. This is common. This is common practice, bro. You know how many times I've made my AM sous chef stay where I'm just like, but here's the thing. you have two options you can go about this. You can dig your heels in, say, no, fuck you, I'm going home, right? Then you have to deal with the repercussions of that, because that comes at a cost.
Of course.
Which I call it a silver bullet, right? So you get 2 to 3 silver bullets a year where you can tell me, hey, fuck you, chef, I'm going home, all right? But if I were in Jem's situation, because his situation's a little vulnerable, it's kind of new with his new perception. For me, I would look, if I was in Jem's shoes, I would look that GM straight in the eye and be like, hey, listen, I'm actually walking out the door, but I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this for you. Hey, I got you. I got your back, right? And toughen it up, right? Like now that's obviously with quotations, right? So it's different if you have to pick up your kids from daycare, if you have to like, it's different. There's so many different situations, but like if I were Jem, like where I'm fortunate enough where my wife watches the kids, right? So if I'm super flexible with my schedule, and but there's been times where I open the restaurant and then like a sous chef would call out or whatever the case may be, and then I'm just like, dang, like, hey,
it sucks.
And like, dang, it sucks, but you know what? This is me, no problem, I got it. And I've missed events because of this, but there's also a way where you can meet in the middle, right? So where you could say, hey, listen, I got you, I'm here for you, but look, I'm going to leave at 7, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's
compromise.
There's plenty of ways that you can look at this scenario. But what I realize is like, it really doesn't matter. Like when you're at that level, like CDC, executive Sous, you have to say yes all the time.
I know.
It's in your best interest to say yes. And anytime, and what I realized, and even with my current job, every time I fight back, it ends up just pissing me off even more, even though I do some dumb shit, Casey, some dumb stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And just right. I think it's really up to him. And this is part of growing up in the industry. This is part of making decisions based on leadership. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to think. Like, yes, I know it sucks, dude. Listen, I've told a couple of my coworkers, once I take off my chef jacket, don't fucking talk to me. Seriously. I'm like, listen, I hate to be rude. I hate to be disrespectful, but I'm like, once I take off my chef jacket, that's it. Don't fucking speak to me. Don't ask me for anything. Don't text me. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But like, let's say if, if I have a sous chef and their shift ends at 7, right, and they're hanging out, it's past 7:30, 7:45. You know what I do? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Excuse my language, but I'm like, get out of here. Because what's really important for me and what I've realized over time is that, I am one of the managers that the people that are around me, my circle that are close to me, I make sure their personal life is good, right? I make sure they're good. Or else, if not, it's gonna affect the work life, man. Straight up, I've seen it. I've been in 2 sides of management where I'm just like, no, you're gonna do this. This is it. Boom, cut dry. There's no negotiation. And then I've also been like, okay, fine, all right. You want to go see a movie with your girlfriend? Okay, fine. Or your boyfriend? Fine. All right. Cut out at 9 o'clock. I'll close your station. But see, it's all about give and take, right? So if I were in Jem's situation with what recently happened, I would bite the bullet, bite my tongue and say, hey, and I would make it a point to say, hey, I got you. You know what I'm saying? To the GM. Like, hey,
just
listen,
this once.
I'm walking out the door, but you know what? Look, I got you. And then if he ultimately can't tough it, then I would say, hey, how about this? Look, I'm exhausted. I'm going to meet you halfway. I'll do 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
Can we compromise on that? Because there's been times where I've like worked, 11 days straight, and then like,
dude, that's rough.
I've had like, it was like 11-day stretch, but and then when you have it in your mind that you're leaving at a certain time, and that time comes, and then
you're leaving.
Then service starts. It's very important, man. It's just like the hourly cooks, man. If they have to be out by 4, there's no question. They're out by 4, right? No overtime.
No overtime. No, dude.
But
I guess.
Really, so
I just really feel like he is sinking. I just feel like I want to give a hand, but I'm not there. So it feels really. It feels awful.
Can I tell you something? We all have to grow up in this industry, and we all have our own paths, and you need to accept that. You're not living Jem's life. Could you manage the situation better? Yes, probably. Right.
Yes.
Could I manage the situation better? Yes. Easy. Like this doesn't even take any of my time up. You know why? Because I'm a natural born leader. Like my leadership and my drive will get me through any situation that will be put in front of me. And I think what's really important is the more we chime in and help and feed his fire, right? The more he's going to get inside his head, where in reality, this is not going to matter in 5 years. Like what happened on this day 5 years ago? Do you remember?
Yeah. I
Nah,
don't.
you don't give a fuck.
No.
But you've been in situations where, you've been pinned, right? You've been pinned by management, right? And you've learned how to navigate through them. So, in all honesty, I hate to say this, but it's either going to make him prevail or he's going to sink and be
He's gonna
drowned.
sink. Yeah, it's one of the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. And listen,
Yeah.
I've worked with GMs that were just absolutely ruthless, my guy. Ruthless. But the problem is he's an hourly employee. I didn't know this. He's an hourly employee. So
Yeah. See,
that
that's
puts you in
that's
a
the other
different,
thing too. Like,
my guy, that puts
it's
you in
not
a
you're not
different.
full salary. Like, oh my god, dude.
Homie, listen. He's getting the short end of the stick. We all know that. It's fine.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna navigate through this. But also, it's up to him to become a chef, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and prevail.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. And the thing is like when you're looking at it from a general manager or a salary position, and you're hourly, it's a different lens. Okay. You're not looking at it from the 16 millimeter. It's the 24 to
yeah,
70 millimeter where you have to look.
yeah.
So, in all honesty, that GM has every right to manage the room how she wants to do it. There's no other
Yeah.
way to look at it. And trust me, you have to be that support no matter how much you sacrifice, because that is the industry that we were built in. Here's the thing, that is changing. That is changing. And I promise you, when I have my restaurant, I'm going to push for work-life balance. I'm going to push for I'm going to push for 4-day work weeks. I'm going to push for all of this. I might not get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that is more important, right? Like, I want to know what my employees are doing on your day off. Hey, what do you like doing? You like hiking? You like doing this?
Yeah.
Great. You know why? Because I want to give you that opportunity. Because you know what I realized? You know what I realized is like is that you get much better work performance out of your employees when you actually give a shit about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you care, like just care a little bit. So I guess, so Kyle and I were talking about it, and we're just kind of like, we have to let him figure it out. Like we literally,
he'll be fine. He'll be fine. But his you don't, okay. Like, here's, like, I hate to say it, but the text that his chef sent him is 1000% accurate. It is. I'm sorry. It is. He was very clear. Like, in that it actually shook me to my core, because I remember having that same conversation with one of my junior sous chefs, right? And they said the same thing. They were crying. They were literally crying to me because the sous chef was being too rough on them, right? Yeah. And he's like, they're like, and the thing is like, yes, it was justified. Was the delivery off? But you know what I'm saying? But the thing is what I appreciate, he's ex-military. So for me, this is a golden nugget, right? Because he's going to follow orders. He's going to do what you tell. He's going to do the best of his ability. But at the same time, it's very difficult for him because he doesn't like to be told what to do, just like all of us, right? Yeah, I don't want anybody telling me how to cook, bro. Come on. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, a restaurant takes a team. You know what I mean? And I think what's really important is, he's going to navigate through this. This situation is going to make him better, or it's going to make him crash, right? Yeah. Now, ultimately, just like I told him, that chef hired him back for a reason. He believes in him, right?
Yeah.
We all believe in him that he can do the job. But the thing is like, there's going to be these situations. It's not easy to be in early management, right? Where is what I kind of see Jem as is early management, which is totally fine. But he needs a couple years under his belt, right? To where, Casey, if you walk in the kitchen right now and you can literally prioritize what needs to be done, what, like who's where, what, when, like you can do it.
Yeah.
Like I can do it as well. Like I've walked into many of kitchens, and I hate to say this, but I know it sounds cocky, but I am so confident in my abilities to execute. Wait, we can edit that out. My garage door went off.
Yeah,
I'm so confident in my abilities to execute that it's overwhelming to some people, right? Like, seriously.
I know.
My confidence in being able to build a team and curate an experience is like through the roof. That's why, like, I'm so like ready to break down a wall to open my own restaurant within the right time. Yeah. But, I think it's important, man, for all chefs to go through that. So I think I have some advice for you and Kyle, and I would kind of let off the gas pedal a little bit. Don't stop gassing him up because, like, in all honesty, I understand where you're coming from, and you want to protect him because he's your friend, and he's my friend too. He's Kyle's friend as well. But like, the thing is he needs to learn this for himself, and he needs to learn how to work with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think one of my biggest things, and I'm sure you can agree, like when you look at your staff, right? Above and below. Doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
where they're from, what position they have, how much more they get paid, how much less they get paid. They're no better than you, and you're no better than them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what's important is you have to learn how to work and manage with uh, work with people. That's as simple as it can get, right? And
Yeah.
ultimately, I think my biggest gripe with the industry is, being in a hotel environment, right? And financing is pushing you for like, hey, can I have this by 4 o'clock today? Can you give me this? Or
Yeah.
on Monday morning when they come in all gung ho, right? And they want a bunch of shit, right? And it's like you just got finished working a busy ass weekend, and usually Monday and Tuesday is your slow day. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember one of the finance team was like, she was trying to account for something, and I remember her coming down to the kitchen. She's like, "You're not responding to any of my emails," and
Oh
and
wow.
I remember I was in the middle of service, man. I was in the middle of service, and it was super busy, and it was so funny because I look at her, and all the cooks are looking at me, and then I'm just like, "Hey, can you just give me 5 minutes? Can we just talk outside? Give me 5 minutes. I'll be
Yeah,
right
yeah,
back."
yeah.
And then I remember her saying, "This was due, blah blah blah," and it was crazy because she doesn't see my world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was ready to rip the door off the hinges, bro.
Of course, of course.
We did a Sunday brunch. It was a holiday brunch. It was so freaking busy, man. And because usually you have to enter the invoices in every day. You have to enter them
Got
in
it. So you
like
got to
into a
reconcile
system.
it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we didn't do it for like 2 days because we were short staffed. That's the bottom line.
Sure.
And it put her behind because it was the end of the month or whatever the case may be. And so she came down and started hammering, right? And I'm like,
Oh, she
listen, I
was
appreciate.
furious.
She was like, hey,
Man.
listen. I was like, listen, I appreciate you. But I was like, listen, I appreciate you. And I understand what you're doing. You're just trying to do your job. But just remember, you leave at 4 p.m. on the dot. Okay. You work
Yeah.
8-hour shifts. I am here for 16 hours. Okay. And matter of fact, I'm
Yeah.
going to be here for 16 hours today. And I'm so sorry, but you are on page 3 of my priority list. So if you, and like, I'm honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you. And the thing is she was taken aback. But I remember the situation because I had to go back and apologize and say I overstepped
Of
my
course.
boundary. And I was like, listen, we're all one team, one dream, right? Like, but I made a mistake. And listen, was I right? Yes, of course. Hell yeah. Like, bro, do you think I care about the fucking invoices right now when the ship is sinking, bro? Like, we had zero mise en place, didn't even have enough soup to like do, bro. It was so like you wake up and you're brushing your teeth and you're like, damn, I'm fucked today. Like, I'm so behind.
Oh shit.
It's like one of
It's
those
like
days,
that.
right? And then you have the accountants who just had the weekend off, bro, who left at Friday.
Of course.
They left at Friday at 3:30, right? They had Saturday, Sunday off, and they want to come in gung ho on Monday when you work the weekend straight, dude.
Yeah.
Rough, but it's all in how you work with people. Everybody has their own specific job to do. They get held accountable for their job. Your job is to help them be successful as possible. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
and the problem that it was is it made us look bad as a culinary department, right? So it's like, you got the CDC like jumping down your throat, literally so justified. But she went back to her office with her tail between her legs, and guess what happened? Obviously HR is right next to her, and she's
Oh,
like,
of course.
the chef, blah blah blah, the chef this, and then of course the next day I get a call from the executive chef,
HR. Yeah.
yeah,
There you
and
go.
and they're like, hey, did you have this conversation? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I did, yes. And I was like, it's so funny because like obviously the chef understood, like we were like, he trusts in me as the number 2 to run the place when he's gone, right? It's the bottom line. But it was just so funny how that conversation went down, and instead of me being all defensive, right? Like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, I was like, you know what? You're 100% right. This was my fault. And here's the reason why. And hopefully we can move forward from this, right? Because it's easier than digging your heels in. You have to go the path of least resistance.
I mean, that hasn't happened to me yet. Cause I'm pretty good with reconciling stuff. But like there was one time I can remember that the GM wanted some kind of, it wasn't a tasting, but he wanted like an aperitif or some shit like that he wanted like right then that he had like talked prior to the guests. I had nothing. I didn't know anything of this. So he was like, hey, we need to make 10 of these, by the way, in like the next hour. I'm like, what? Bro, Brandon, we were on a Saturday, 3 p.m. Like we were pushing, bro. And I'm just like, yo, you're going to make me do what right now? Oh my God. Let's just say the walk-in was, you can hear You can hear through the walk-in. It's
Yeah.
like, fine, fucking do your 10.
Yeah, but also that's why we get paid, man. That's why, that's why you're in a leadership position, because you are the fire extinguisher, right?
Oh,
Like,
it's
bottom
so
line.
rough. I'm so like, okay, I'm over the 2 to 300 covers now. That's whatever to me. I feel like I've lost my life already. Just doing doing that stuff. Let's dial it back. I just want my 21 years back now. Slowly and steadily, eventually,
Yeah, I feel you.
Jeez.
So you wrote here, I have a fresh grad of CIA and was talking about his payments and shit. Such a waste of time and money.
So he graduated this year. Guess how much this homie paid? Just guess. CIA, by the way.
140.
$127,000 and 350 something.
For
127.
For a bachelor degree or for just culinary?
I think it's a bachelor's degree. God. And he does not know how to do anything. Brandon, nothing. How insane is that?
Is he working?
Yeah, he's working with me. We're training him. We're training him in fry and setups and shit. And I mean, he has basic knowledge, sorta, kinda, but doesn't know how to play. Doesn't know how to. I'm like, yo, what did you do for 4 fucking years? What is going on? 127 grand. Can we just talk about this like really quickly? I know we talk about it all the time.
So first off, listen, this is detrimental, man. Like, I'm sorry. This is fucking horrible, bro. And honestly,
he's 22.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I want to just say real quick, I've made 2 videos now on do I think culinary school is worth it on my YouTube channel. You can just search, you'll find it. But to all my youngins out there, listen, let me tell you something. Culinary school is not fucking worth it in 2022. Okay? Mm-hmm. Please, for the love of God, if you are 17 to 20 years old and you need to make a decision, your parents want you to go to college and you choose culinary school, listen, unless they are paying the bill, do not take on that amount of debt if you want to be a chef. Okay? And here's the reason why. Prospect A, the person that you're training right now, has a fat payment of $500 to $600 a month. Yeah. With the increase in rent, there is no freaking way he's going to be able to make that payment. So he's going to have to get him deferred, right? Or what's called a forbearance. Here's the thing. You cannot claim, student loan payments do not go away. It's the only thing that doesn't go away during bankruptcy or anything, right? And I think what's really important is, everybody's situation is unique. But I would only recommend culinary school for that person that is 36 years old, 35 years old, wants to do a career change or wants to have a catering company and just needs to, switch careers really fast. I think culinary school might be worth it for a person like that, right? Or if you're if you're somebody that stays at home and you're a home cook and you want to be a better home cook, I would think culinary school, it would be worth it for you if you want to create a business. But ultimately, you don't need to do that. There's so much information on YouTube. There's so much information on, on the web where, you have chefs like me, yourself, who create content and we can guide you in the right direction. But no experience will be better than on the job. No, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody says. You don't need a certificate to be a cook, right? You don't need a certificate to become a professional cook. You don't need a certificate to become a chef, right? Now, 10 years ago, when I was coming up, yes, this was mandatory, right? If you wanted to be at an exact level, because that's the narrative that they painted. And it's still the narrative that the CIA paints. And I'll be honest, if I see, CIA grad or JWU grad, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask them a few specific questions, right? Like, because here's the thing. It makes me, same thing. Like if it's a Thomas Keller alumni, dude, it's like a no hire for me, bro. I hate to say it, man. Like I love Thomas Keller Group and I tried to apply there multiple years, but dude, out of 20 cooks that I've hired on that have worked for the TK Group, bro, one of them reigns supreme, right? Like one of them, because the problem is they only think that way. Same thing with CIA and JWU. They only think this way. This is the way it should be done. Now, I will be honest. I love the CIA professional chef book, right? But I don't love the fact that it is $120,000 a year. I think
Yeah.
If they want to charge that
so
much, they need to work out deals with corporations and hotels and restaurant groups where they can
Mhm.
place you in a salaried position that will be able to cover that payment. If not, they need to chill the fuck out. This dude,
Yeah.
$120,000. Come on, get out of here, bro.
That's exactly like what like even with the skill set that he has, like he can barely, do stuff with a knife. He knows how to do the most basic of things. But bro, when we're talking about like his first Saturday, looking at tickets, plating it, setting it up, like dude, deer in headlights.
Yeah,
I'm like, homie, we're not even
yeah.
busy.
It's okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
this is the first seating.
Yeah, what you should do is just but honestly, this is honestly good because you could train him how you want him to perform.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
me, it's beginning stages. Bro, that's why I'm starting this YouTube series, man. That's why, because like here's the thing. Okay, you can be honest. Look, you don't have time to sit here and train him. Like
I don't.
you ain't got time.
I really don't.
I don't have time. Like I don't have time to show you the basics of the fundamentals of carbohydrates, fat, protein, like you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to call
Yeah.
out, hey, I need this dish keto, right? And then you know
Yeah.
what the fuck to do. Like this is so important to me. Or like, hey, can you, hey, how many times does this happen? Hey, can you grab me angel hair pasta from the dry storage? And they come back with spaghetti or linguine. My guy, it happens a lot frequently. Hey, I need hazelnuts. They come back with almonds. Bro, that's why I'm doing this series. I'm like, yo, you need to go watch. Tell him, go to Chef Authorized YouTube and you watch every single fucking video. Straight up. Because like, this will put things in perspective because when I get into like mise en place and how your station should be set up and overall, like, I'm going to do it because like, I think this is way more important. And this is what you need to know with how service should be ran. Like your station should be 90 degrees. Everything should be knolled, always knolling. Do you know what that means?
Knolling? No, okay. I don't.
Pull it up. It's basically
Knowling
like
with a K.
Yeah, KNOLLING, and then we'll pop it up on the screen. And I'll explain to what it is. I'll explain to everybody what it is. So, so knowling is the importance of keeping everything you need, everything you're using, all at 90 at perfect freaking angles, right? Like I call it 90 degrees because people can take that in consideration and they know exactly what I'm talking about, but. Everything on your station nothing should be crooked. Everything. All right. We'll edit that garage beep out.
You're good.
Nothing should be crooked. Everything should be. So click on one of these pictures and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. Boom. Okay. So here's a good example of what knolling is. So in a kitchen, when you're on a station, every single thing should be in its place and at 90 degrees with the thing that's next to it. So anything that's crooked, anything that's like messy, is going to end up messing you up during your day. Yeah. Everything needs to have its place. And I can't encourage enough. You need to be the leader in that, Casey. If you are the chef in the restaurant, you need to be anal about this because guess what? This organization goes with every single thing else in the kitchen. All of the dishes, all of the potware, everything needs to be lined up because when people look into the kitchen, they're like, oh my God, this is organized. Right, it needs to have that look, and that's how I would tell young cooks and chefs. This is the standard, right? Because here's the thing.
So this is called knowling. I had no idea of that word.
Yeah. So
all I know is mise en place. It's called mise en place.
Same thing, but like knowling is the extreme. So like if I were to, so here's a good example. So if I were to tell cooks to, hey, have your mise en place together, right? Yeah, that's a general term. They kind of know. They kind of get it. No, if I go to the station, I say, hey, everything needs to be knolled. Everything needs to be knolled, and then I explain to them what knolling is. Got it. So if there's a crooked sheet pan on their station, that's not acceptable. So we aim for that high standard. We aim for that high standard just to drop lower, right? Like they're not gonna have it all the time, but it's important because it puts you in this mindset where I have to be super organized. I have to be, and this is really important. And this is something you don't learn in culinary school and on station setups. So I think when it comes to this and this new employee, for the next year, it's really, really important that you show him the way on how to do things properly. He or she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but I think that's really important. Yeah.
Little David, he's a cutie, man. I just feel like he's like a big sponge right now, asking all the questions, very receptive to it.
Yeah, and take the time out to show, to tell him, right? So this is also my biggest issue, bro. From the first 4 years of my career, man, nobody showed me the right way. and I had to
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
had
yeah.
to relearn the hard way. That's why like now it's my golden life when I see something that's off, or I say, hey, look, this is not right, but this is the way you need to do it.
Yeah,
Because and some people might think it's aggressive, whatever, because I was that young cook that didn't have the proper information. It's like
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's so important, man. It's so important to the young cook's success, right? Like, and I'll dude, I will not, like, I'm a straight shooter. If I see something that's off, boom, we rectify it immediately,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because man, you see that all the time, man, where you see like good examples. Like I forgot where I went the other day, and like, I'm watching this young cook on a station, and I'm just like, dude, he needs some love, man. He needs some love. He's just drowning. He's just drowning.
Yeah,
And the thing is you need to inspire, and you need to teach, and you need to show. And all my chefs out there, take the extra fucking second, okay? If a young cook has a question, do the right thing. Stop what you're doing, look them straight in the
yeah.
eyes, and give them your feedback. Take the extra second. It's going
Mm,
to mean so much more to them in the long run. I remember having a sous chef shut a cook down, like, hey, we're in service, no questions right now. And I looked at him, I was like, hey, motherfucker. I was like, hey, you go over there and you answer that question. That is your job.
yeah,
Okay. They're asking a specific question. You need to teach them, man. I didn't put them on blast in front of everybody, but like, I totally get that as a chef. That's why, like, in order for me to mitigate that, when I build my culinary empire, I'm
yeah, 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 yeah.
creating
Of
the
course.
YouTube video of, hey, this is the difference between this and this. You just need the basic knowledge, man. You don't need, like,
Mm.
I hate to say it, but you don't
Well,
need
the cool
culinary.
thing is he's getting both. So again, you know that my owner, you know that kind of teaching style, that old. I don't want to say old, but it's definitely the other generation kind of way.
Yeah.
And then he sees how I do it. I literally
Yep.
will explain it to him step by step, and we'll go pretty much hand in hand because I have the time to. But the other ones is like, yeah, no, you don't talk to me right now. I'm busy. I'm like, bro, come on. He's just
Yeah.
asking like 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
that's
But you know
it's
what?
2 seconds.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't even waste time. He's too old school, you know?
No, I know. I
I would,
don't even bother. So
yeah.
I'm like, just say yes. Yes, chef. Cool. And then I'm like, look, this is what he means. Let's do it together like this. This is how he likes it. Blah, blah, blah. And now he's kind of understanding it. Now he's building a rapport. But again, he's on fry right now. It's still a little iffy.
That's okay. Dude, he's going to fail. You
Fry's
got to let him
hard,
fail
bro.
too. You got to let him
Yeah,
fail
yeah,
too.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the most important thing for him right now is making sure his station is clean and organized. There's nothing else more important. Mise en place, everything back in its spot. When you use the oil, it goes straight back to the
Mm-hmm.
spot. If you pick up the
Mm-hmm.
salt, or if you pick up the pepper mill, it goes right back to the pepper mill spot. Everything has a
Yep,
home.
yep.
Everything has a place to live. That is more important than the execution of the station, right? Like, let him fucking fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like making sure the fryer is spotless, right? Like, I can't tell you enough, man. Even in a busy restaurant, bro, I still made sure the fryer was skimmed and cleaned, and all the
Of
all the
course.
crumbs and stuff were, bro, I swear to God, because like it's all about pride and ownership, and then that carries
Yeah.
on with your standard. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mm-hmm.
another pro tip to tell him is, your station is direct reflection of you.
Of you.
Always, it is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
important.
He's starting to get it.
Yeah,
This kid is young. This kid is he has chops, like he really does.
yeah.
I just wish,
Has he started making payments
I
yet?
kind of met him earlier. Yeah, he started with the payments, and he was just like, "Yo, I might need to get a second job." I'm like, "Damn." I mean,
Does he live
I
with his
get it.
parents, or does he live alone?
No, he lives by himself. He's solo right now. I'm just like, been there, done that. But I didn't have the loan of the school on top of me, so I was more free with my decisions, and I was earlier. But man,
I would
feel
be
for you.
curious. I would be curious to see what his interest rate is. I know, man. Dude, listen, man. I am 36 years old. I'm still paying for my culinary school. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have that much left, and it wasn't that expensive. My culinary school altogether was probably about 36,000, right? And I'm not gonna lie, that's reasonable. That is reasonable.
Yeah,
But I wasn't super aggressive in paying it off. Like, I deferred them as far as possible, right? Like,
of course.
refund. Like, I deferred and restructured the loan. Had like 4 or 5. Like, I've switched companies so many times, dude. They're like, from now I went from Navient to Advantage, and like, listen, man, I feel it, but like, it never goes away. And so
Yeah,
obviously, now that I make a little bit more money, it's a little different, but it's not that big of a burden. But $300 a month for because I was under the repayment plan of when I was
Okay.
broke, son. So when I was
Sure.
when I was super broke, when I was working at Alinea, that's when I restructured the culinary school
Okay.
repayment. Perfect, worked out great. And basically, what you can do is you can send them your pay stubs, and then they give you a monthly rate. You know what I'm saying? That
Oh, nice.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty
So
cool.
there's also that option, but yeah, I think when it comes down to that, it's just not worth it because the ROI is not there. And for everybody that doesn't know, that ROI is the return on investment. So think about this: when you invest into culinary school, what are you getting back out of it? Absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, when you start, listen, people might look, and don't get it twisted. Especially CIA, they tell you you're a chef once you graduate. No, you're fucking not. No, you are not. You are actually at the bottom. Okay, and this is rude awakening. You might get lucky if you're working during culinary school and then you get promoted to sous chef. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It doesn't look promising for the first couple of years in culinary world, but it is super rewarding if you prevail. And nowadays, everybody that goes to culinary school, they just want to say that they're a chef and, post on the internet and say, have chef services, but it's not 100% accurate. Now, I will play devil's avocado and say that there is definitely a new arena out there, right? There's new types of chefs coming up, personal chef, private chef, which is super lucrative. You know what I mean? But just know, if you want to call, I don't care. Like, for me, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not in your world. You're not in my world. But just know that if you want to call yourself a chef, you better back it up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
It's
that
big title.
It's that
you
clean.
have to know shit.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, just because I'm a chef doesn't mean I'm better than you or you're better than me. That doesn't matter. It's just there's a prerequisite to being called chef that comes with that territory. And I see a lot of people on the internet, that want to put on a chef jacket and they're cooking out of their house and want to say that they're a chef. And that's listen, I don't care. I got time to like poke and prod, but I'll tell you what, if we have a conversation, I'll know very quickly. You can tell from the chefs from the non-chefs, like this is how you cut a carrot. And then when you see him cut the carrot really slow and you're like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
So it's always the knife skills. When they bust out the knife, like, not doing it.
Dude, you know what's so funny? I just got the cleaver. That cleaver. Did I show you the cleaver I got?
No.
Oh, I got a dope cleaver, man. But I gotta be honest, man, I can't believe I haven't got one earlier. It's so efficient to use.
I know. I told you.
Dude, freak, man.
It has its own thing. You have a scraper built into it.
Yeah.
The weight, you can smash anything. Oh my God.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I can't believe I waited so long, but I was, I don't know what I was going through. I was cutting something, but like, dude, the weight of the blade is like so clutch, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. The saya for it was like $46 though. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they have to do custom.
It's more wood.
Yeah, more wood, and it has to be. It's more of like a big rectangle, but it's okay.
Well, glad you're on Team Cleaver.
Yeah,
I've used cleavers all my life, so
yeah, I love
natural
it.
to me.
Yeah, and you know what? It's super efficient. Like if you know how to hold a knife, like all right. Now I'm not gonna go slicing, cooked meat with it, but like, dude, for vegetable prep, for meat prep, for pounding, bro, I was like, dude, I can't believe
all day everything, just one tool. Yep.
Yeah, julienning onions.
Yep.
Oh, money. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you get the short handle one or the long Western handle?
I'll send you a photo. No, it's a Japanese handle.
Okay.
Not Western.
Japanese. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's dope. Dude.
My favorite handle.
It is dope. It's super sharp. Super sharp. I got it sharper than I hit it on the strop block when I got it. Just to really fine tune that edge. It's super sharp, man. Like, but it's really nice. It's really dope.
Cool.
Yeah, boy.
All right. I think that concludes our little pod for today. Again, any questions, any concerns, anything whatsoever, just hit us up on all our socials. I'll make sure all the links are down below. But other than that, though,
chef-driven topics, man. We are here
any chef-driven topics all day. All right, peeps, we out.
Peace.